They not like us. That's the conversation today. It's Dr. Ali. I am your business strategist and coach, and I'm super excited to come in today. Let me make sure we are live on IG. And we're going to have a few things happening today. So if you're catching this live, wherever you're catching it live from, let me know where you're coming in from so I can shout that out and find out how your weather is. I'm running this live from Brooklyn, New York. Our weather today is amazing in the 70s. If you're like me, I love 70s. 70 weather is nice and chill. So we can do it a few more days just like this. Tonight, we're going to be talking all about Radiate in Your Reach. We're going to be doing some cards. I'm pulling up cards. I'm going to share the concept of how we're going to talk more about collaboration and completion versus competition, right? So we're going to talk a little bit more about that, talk about how it shows up in our business, how we can step over it, and some things we're doing this summer that can help you to really take the things that you're doing inside, your purpose, your passion, your vision, and take it out there to the world with more collaboration and completion and less competition. And what came up to me is that whole Kendrick Lamar song, They're Not Like Us, They Not Like Us. It just kept coming back on and coming back on and coming back on. I was wondering to myself, why is this song keep coming back on? And it made me think about how in life we're busy looking left and looking right at what others are doing, and whether we consider it competition, whether we consider it ignition, helping us to get lit, whatever we consider it, I want us to actually literally identify it when it's coming up so we can stop doing it. Like, stop. Part of this whole social media culture is we're busy scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and when we're scrolling, what we're actually doing is paying attention to what everyone else is doing. And sometimes it can play a factor on us. Sometimes it can be a good thing, right? It can ignite us. It can lead us into doing more. It can motivate us. It can inspire us. And sometimes it can lead us to making us feel like, dang, we're not enough. We should be doing more. Dag, my story is not like their story. Ooh, their story is super juicy. I can't even compare or compete with that aspect. And I want to let you guys know that we don't need to compete stories, right? Type that out. We don't need to compete. Everybody's story is different. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's, hey, Emily, hey, Mandy, I see you popping in. Everyone's path is different. So as we're looking and we're scrolling, come from it from a space, and this is what I tell myself. I come from it from the space from, let me celebrate this other person. So every time I get online, I'm thinking about, who do I want to celebrate today, right? What's happening out there in the world so I can celebrate with them or celebrate them, so that it can inspire me to keep going. It can inspire me to keep showing up. It can inspire me to make sure I am coming forth with what they may need or others may need. It can inspire me to keep being a problem solver. It can inspire my next masterclass. It can inspire my next offer. Whatever it is, I'm going to use it as fuel to ignite whatever is my next. Do you understand? So we're going to use it as fuel to ignite our next, which is what I want you guys to think about. Fuel and not fury, right? Some of us may look at him like, oh my goodness, fury. Oh my gosh, what are they doing now? I'm tired. Would this person just sit down? I was hearing that in my tribe. Sometimes some people be looking at it like, oh my God, Dr. Ali, would you just sit down? Sometimes I watch you and you're busy moving. And in my head, I'm thinking, will she just sit down? And I'm like, I am sitting down. I do a lot of sit downs. I do a lot of reset. I do a lot of resting. Don't let it ever fool you. Yes, just because you see a lot of me, it also means I have a lot of systems and processing set up so I could always look like I am here in your ethers, right? So that whole concept of taking what you were seeing and then taking it into a space of fury or a space where we feel like we got to compete against another person, and it don't necessarily got to be that way, right? It don't got to be like that. Say it don't got to be like that. Type it out. It don't have to be like that. So what I'm excited about tonight is for the month of June. Say happy June. June is all about tuning in for me. In my group, I call June more tunes, right? More tuning in, more taking time to really connect to our vibratory space to see if we're low vibe, high vibe, how do we want to move forward, and just being more aware of how we are vibrating out, how we're radiating out, and also what we're picking up, right? Being very, very in tune. So this month, I'm going to be picking from this card deck that I was gifted almost a year ago. And then I'm going to pick something from another card deck that's around me so you guys can get the message. So this is all about the moon deck. This is all about the moon deck. And tonight, our card is going to be, and I'm going to share about 3 cards. If you guys are out here, let me know you're here live. And also, by the way, make sure you know that on Thursday, we get started with our Radiate Your Reach. It's going to be our boot camp for helping folks to create your own story, create your own brand story. Yep, it's all about writing, creating, getting our thoughts together, getting our ideas together, getting our purpose together, our missions, our experiences, and putting it into a nice, succinct place. So for those who are interested, make sure you reach out to ignitepreneurs.com and you'll have access to register for that. But back to these cards, right? Let's see what we get for our cards today. I'm actually doing pick a card. I can't believe it. I haven't had a chance to really spend some time picking a card outside of my tribe. I do it inside of our inner circle tribe. But I said for the month of June, I'm just going to be picking some random cards and seeing who does it need, who does it connect with, who does it align with, and what messages do we need to help us in our radiating ourselves, radiance for this month. So I'm going to pick random cards. Here's our first card. Our first card says, I trust the change unfolding in my life. I trust the change unfolding in my life. I trust the change unfolding in my life. So which one of you guys have some major changes that are happening and are still questioning it? And that was me. I've been questioning a lot of things that have been showing up in my life. Hey, Dr. D, good to see you. Always good to see you. And if this resonates with you, let me know who it resonates with. Just type it out. I trust the change unfolding in my life, and that lets me know this one resonates for you. I trust the change unfolding in my life, and I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna also claim everything one I pull is gonna be for me too, because there's a lot of changes that are happening. Our class is coming up. I'm helping folks in an area that I've been doing it myself and only with private clients, and now I'm doing it with a small intimate group. So I'm gonna trust these changes that are unfolding in front of my life. Are you? Let me know if you receive it. Let me know I receive it. And then the next one, let me pull up number two, just pulling randomly. Number 2, let's see what we get for number 2. Number 2, we have, I welcome clear vision and inspired action. How many of us are this space? Clear vision and inspired action. We welcome it. So this is key because sometimes I feel a lot of us are busy moving and we're not clear, right? We're busy moving and we're not clear. So when you are busy moving, but you don't take the time out to get clarity in exactly what we need to be doing, what is the vision that is really in front of us, then our action is just radical action. It's not inspired action. So type out the word inspired action. Inspired action comes from clarity. And as we stop and we slow down, as we stop and we reconnect, then we get to access more clarity towards our vision, more inspired action towards our visions that we're having. You guys remember the beginning of this year, I held the Vision Fest, right? I held our Vision Fest. I spoke about how we're going to really tap into our vision this year, how we're going to align with our vision, how we do not make moves, right? Type it out. Do not make moves unless we're clear. We do not make moves unless we know that this is towards the bigger purpose of what God has aligned for us. So one of the things, like how for Radiate Your Reach Bootcamp, when I got involved with it, it really started with media. A lot of people were asking me, Dr. Ali, I see you get a lot of media. I see you're always, showing things of front media and back media, podcasting, interviews. There's always some level of media that's happening in my life every single year since I've been in business. So I've shared some strategies with my friends. I've shared some strategies with my clients. And I said, you know what? I'm going to create this boot camp this summer, and I'm really going to tap into this space of helping folks with their media. Meanwhile, when I got into it and we did the masterclass, which was about 2-3 weeks ago, and I was explaining my path, how my path started with books. It started with the Amazing Gift book, and then it led to the Launch the Legacy book that we did last year. It landed with that. It also added in Zachary's I Am book. So I, supported, as well as my clients and their many productions that they've done inside of our tribe. So I've done helping other folks with their books, but I was more thinking, okay, books, or maybe podcasting, or just basically visibility with media. When they came in, they were like, wait a minute, we have messages inside of us. Maybe we should actually stop and do the book, complete the book that I started. I had a vision about a book. I had a dream about a book. God spoke to me about writing this book. How many of you guys had this vision or had this dream, or something God has put inside of you that you kind of been ignoring? So my aspect of making sure I trust the change unfolding in my life, right? Because this is a change. Instead of keeping moving with media, I listened to what my audience told me, what my people told me, what God told me, and I decided to just focus the 6 months, the 6 weeks for the Radiate Your Reach is going to be on creating your book and how I did it with ease. And then making sure that the inspired action, once I was clear on, okay, we're going to focus more on the book aspect of it for this Radiate Your Reach part. And maybe God will realign me back to the media part. Maybe he'll realign me back to the podcast. But for now, clarity is showing me move towards the book. That's what made me feel more intentional about the actions, about starting and doing this class that we're going to be doing on Thursday. So I feel very secure. I feel very strong. I'm moving forward. The blueprint is out. Everything has been coming together smoothly. Now it's just for me to keep sharing the message so that those who are aligned, those who are purpose, those who we have already spoke to or God has spoke to, then they get to hear it and step into it. I'm moving forward regardless of who's in or not. You get to choose if you're in or you're not. Got it? All right, awesome. And the third card that we're choosing today, and hey, I see you guys popping in. Hey, Talani. Hey, he motivates. I see you guys out in IG. I'm pulling some cards today from the Moon deck, and I'm sharing a little bit more about how we can radiate more this month. This month is all about radiance. It's all about Radiate Your Reach Bootcamp. It's all about helping folks to get really super clear in their messages and in what God has for them to share with people in a book format. That's what we're doing this time. All right, so the third card we have now is proper rest. Back to this rest, right? Remember last week we spoke about rest? So this one says proper rest helps me feel and look my best. How many things that this one is for them? So these are the cards, the 3 cards that we got today from the Moon deck. We got the first one, I trust the change unfolding in my life. Let me make sure you guys can see that. This is the first one we got. Let me know if number 1 resonates most with you. The second one then spoke about I welcome clear vision and inspired action. Let me know if number 2 resonates more with you, because everybody, or if you're all 3, then, do like me, all of them. I always put all of them if it's all 3. And then the third one was proper rest helps me to feel and look my best. I feel like if we got this last week. So another reminder that rest is important no matter what stage you are in the business. No matter what stage you are in the business. This weekend, I made sure to allocate some time to rest and reset. In the Radiate Your Reach Bootcamp, we will not be working every single day on this book. It's very intentional for about 21 days. In this format of the 6-week program will be more intentional, and the rest of the days are going to be lots of rest, because rest brings clarity, and then clarity brings inspired actions. These are all together, right? Rest brings clarity. Clarity brings inspired action. Inspired action brings about changes in our lives. Look how all 3 come together. All 3 come together, and we get to choose which direction that we're going to move in. So if you guys receive those messages, that's for you, from my heart to your heart. I hope you receive it with love. I'm going to pull a card from, let's see which deck, what other decks I have in front of me. Actually, I'm going to pull a card from Mayfield's deck today. All right, I'm going to pull 2 cards. I'm going to do one from my deck, and I'm going to do one from Mayfield's deck. And let me know if it all resonates. So you guys will have 5 cards that are you going to get in different aspects, right? So here's my sales cards. These are what we have here. Pull a random card. If you want more access to my cards, you can definitely reach out to me. This one says, I believe in me, my ideal client, and my offer. This is for my entrepreneurs, my CEOs. I believe in me, my ideal client, and my offer. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in who you're here to serve, and you got to believe in what you have for them. You got to believe in it more than anything else. And if you don't believe in it, then you can't provide it. wholeheartedly and with full authenticity and integrity. So this last one says follow up on 3 past connections. Follow up on 3 past connections. Create a list of 47 more people who will need what you are giving or know someone who will. This may take you some time, but create the list. 47 was the number because I turned 47 this year. This is my 47th birthday gift out there. So that was the number. You get to choose whatever number resonates for you. But in the key, if you want to take a picture of this, go ahead and take a picture. I believe in me. I believe in me, my ideal client, and my offer. And then the other side says, follow up on 3 past connections, because sometimes we think everything is now, but there's a lot of stuff happening in the past that can come back up again. And then create a list of 47 more people who will need what you're giving or know someone who will. If not for them, ask the question, then who do you know? Juicy? All right. Tell you, we're radiating this year. We're radiating a full glory. And the last one, this is coming from Mayfield's deck, Coach Mayfield from Damaged Fruits, our spiritual guide, spiritual advisor. I helped her out with these cards too. I love these cards. All right, so one of her cards are, let's pull her cards out. Next week, we're going to land on Karen's cards. Karen's cards is Heal, Empower, Restore, the Her Method. We'll pull her card next week. This week, we're pulling from Mayfield's deck. I am connected to my higher purpose. Who needed to hear that? I am connected to my higher purpose. Ooh, juicy, juicy, juicy. I am connected to my higher purpose. And then on the other side, it says, I recognize and nurture a connection with my higher self, my inner spirit, and divine essence. I use this to provide guidance, purpose, and a sense of interconnectedness with the universe. So this is your chance to identify with your higher self. If you guys are catching this live, make sure to say hi in the chat group. I'm kind of popping in, I'm popping out, but I wanted to make sure on Monday that I showed up this month for the month of June, getting back into gear, making sure we're getting ready for Radiate Your Reach Bootcamp, which does start this Thursday. And the messages we shared are for those who caught it. If you caught this live, if you're sharing it and someone else catches it, then this message is for you. I didn't hashtag it. I didn't call specific people. I didn't even put it in my group and shared it with them to let them know, in our messenger group, come join me. This is literally whoever shows up, this is for you. We got 5 different messages. I'm going to go over quickly what the 5 messages are, just based on what we pulled today. Make sure I still have them out, because you know how I will put all the things together. Make sure I still have our 5 messages out. And then I want to make sure that I also spend a little time making sure that our Radiate Your Reach Bootcamp is starting this Thursday. If we are in alignment, if these are resonating with you, then that means that bootcamp may just be resonating with you. All right, so quick review, and tell me, Dr. Ali, which one did I really come for? Which one resonates the most with me? Like I needed to hear this today. Our first one was from our moon deck, right? From our moon deck, I trust the change unfolding in my life. I trust the change unfolding in my life. Next one is I welcome clear vision and inspired action. Take a picture if you need to. You know how we do in our tribe. Look at the bird. Look at the eagle that's soaring. Look how the clarity is over the eyes. Look at it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Because once you're inspired, then your vision is super clear, and then you get to soar to your highest heights. Like, come on. But don't forget, in the whole process, proper rest, right? It helps me to feel and look my best. No matter what, take the time out for proper rest. Can't keep going, and we're not pausing. You got to pause. You got to reset. You got to rest. You guys know I do my reset retreats. I will be doing a reset during this summer. So let me know if you want to join me in Aruba. But we will definitely be doing some rest and reset in this summer. Absolutely and absolutely. And then we pulled out one from my card, and it says, I believe in me, my ideal client, and my offer. This all links back to you. You got to believe. If you don't believe, then this is a whole waste in time. It's a whole, don't do it if you don't believe in yourself. Don't do it if you don't believe in whoever you're called to serve. That's your ideal client. And definitely don't do it if the offer you created, if something you created, like my cards, I believe in this card. I have no problem sharing it. These cards are all from past lessons, past messages that I've given repeatedly. The Radiate Your Reach Bootcamp, I believe in that more than ever. That's why I'm showing up so much. That's why I'm making sure that I am out and being visible so whoever needs it gets it, because I believe in my ideal client. I believe in me helping them with completion, right? Because it's all about completion and collaboration and not competition. So I believe in me, who I'm here to serve with the program, and what the program is, because this is on my heart, this is on my spirit, and this is actually because I am connected to my higher purpose. I am connected to my higher purpose. Shout out to Coach Mayfield from Damaged Fruits. If you want access to any one of the cards, please let me know in the chat and I can send you the links of how you can get access to the cards. I am connected to my higher purpose. Which one of these, if not all, resonated for you? Which one spoke to you? And if you don't catch this live and you're catching this on replay, still let me know, because I can always go back in and review it. Anyway, my pleasure coming to you guys live. My pleasure connecting with you. Yes, I decided to jump in 15 minutes earlier than my 9 o'clock because I got stuff to do. I got to prepare. I got to rest. I got to make sure this boot camp that's starting on Thursday is going to be off the chain. I'm going in. I'm making sure I follow up on what my team is doing, making sure everything is geared up. I got a white paper all over my wall with just how that format's going to go. And then here's the dopest part. I'm telling you a little bit of my behind the scenes of how I work with intimate groups. I create white papers for each person in the group, right? So I can tap into what their mission is, each one of their missions for their book, what they're creating. I'm keeping energetic space for them, holding space for them, and holding space for who they're there to serve and what they need to create and complete. And it's able for me to track them. Okay, who's moving, who needs some support, who's falling behind, who's stuck. So that's how I work with my clients. When I'm working with my clients, I actually put their mission and their vision in front of me so that when I wake up, I'm not only seeing mine, I'm also seeing those who I'm called to serve. That's the type of spiritual coach that I do as I'm doing business coaching and personal development coaching. It's all the thing, right? It's how I connect to my higher power, it's how I connect to my inner higher power, and how I make sure that I connect to my clients and their inner higher power also. Right? Have a blessed and amazing day. Of course, if you are interested, please make sure that you go to, let me make sure I drop the link, http www. Do we still say www? You can hear every bit of my accent between New York and the Caribbean accent in my head. Ignitepreneurs.com. That'll give you access to our Radiate Your Reach Bootcamp to log in and sign up for that. If you're catching this after June 13th, you still have time. You can still jump in at any time because the format is already set up. You just jump in, right? Don't sit down and say, oh, it's past June 13th, so it's too late. No, you're right on time. I always tell people, when you think you're late, you're still right on time, because God brought you at this time. Your higher power brought you at this time. So that means this is the time you start. And as for me, I always build a program so it doesn't matter where a person starts, they can still complete it. Most importantly, they can still complete it without feeling like that angst. All right, if there's any questions, please drop your questions. If there's anything that radiate with you, please type it in the chat. I will go back and review this, and definitely be amazing in everything that you do. Continue to soar, continue to tap into your higher power, continue to rest, continue to receive clear vision, and definitely continue to take inspired, intentional, aligned action in the things that you're doing. All right? Don't be afraid of change. Embrace the change as it's coming in front of you. Embrace it. It's all good. I'll catch you guys on Thursday for our Radiate Your Reach Bootcamp. Let's get going.